question today is, who is the real hedonist? Who is the real hedonist? Because I eat a healthy diet, and people would think, why do you do that to yourself? It's like you're missing out on all this pleasure, basically. And that's what people have I've always been surprised that people act like that when they find out that I'm doing my diet or still doing my fruit diet, and they're like, oh, why would you do that to yourself? Because they perceive that their diet is such a pleasurable thing, and being able to eat anything you like, whenever you like, all the time, as much as you like, is this great pleasure in life. And it might be, but who's the real hedonist here? The pleasure seeker. Who's the true pleasure seeker? Because my perception is the other diet doesn't lead to pleasure, really. It leads to very short-term stimulation. But for hours after, often, people don't feel good. Throughout the day, people often don't feel good, don't sleep well. They develop symptoms of disease, don't feel good, experience pain, go through all of the dramas that come up with that, and sometimes completely ends their life early, restricts how they live, brings lots of pain into their life, suffering, misery, medication, painkillers, surgeries. And who's the hedonist here? Who's the pleasure seeker? Because I think I'm the hedonist. I think I'm the biggest hedonist here, because I eat a diet. I enjoy my diet, and I think I enjoy my diet more than people enjoy their diet. And I feel, in fact, here's the thing, that Ted Carr said this, and I knew he would say it because fruitarians are usually on the same page. He said, fruit's the only thing that when you eat it afterwards, it's like nothing changes. Which sounds bad, because what people want is sometimes is for food to make them feel something, or stimulate them, or make them feel really full, or whatever. And fruit is something you eat, and you kind of stay on the same vibe after it. It doesn't bring you down, doesn't necessarily bring you up. It's like breathing in and out. It's like, it just is such a simple interaction for the body compared to every other food. And there's a great pleasure in the flavours of fruit, and how fruit looks, in the taste of fruit. But the pleasure is in your body. It's in how you feel in your body all of the time on a fruit diet. And I want to feel like maximum pleasure, but also I want to feel like myself. And that's the really great thing about this diet, I think, is you feel more yourself more of the time, which is a beautiful thing. And that's the one thing I felt when I went back to eating cooked food at one point. I didn't feel myself for a while after eating it. And everyone's just used to that feeling. Everyone just thinks that that's how it is with food. And it really isn't, or it shouldn't be. But we accept that, because it's normal, it becomes normal to us. And it's so funny that I still see children now, and they're getting force-fed stuff they don't want to eat. They just don't want to eat it. All the time I see this with kids. They just don't want to eat what their parents are giving them. And they'd much rather eat fruit. It's very bizarre. So who's the real hedonist? And then we could say, what about people that like to stay at home, sleeping all day, lying down all day, and don't want to be active and exercise and do things? Once again, exercise might have stress and strain to it, but the rest of the time it makes you feel so much better in life. It makes your life so much better. You start to sleep better, you feel better, you've got more, spring in your step, your body feels good, you feel more capable of things, you feel more confident. it's a tremendous impact. It's a pleasure throughout the day and hopefully throughout the years of your life. You get to interact with other people. The gym is a nice place to be, generally, with people who are all working on themselves. Usually very respectful people at the gym, as far as I've ever seen. No one's ever bothering anyone. Everyone's just sharing the space in a very cool way. It's great, right? So who's the real hedonist? Is it the person that sits and lies about and does nothing? Or is it the fitness enthusiast? I think it's the fitness enthusiast, because they're really looking for the most maximum pleasure. Obviously, you could go into things like drinking, drugs, alcohol, whatever, smoking. All of these are short-term, very short-term stimulatory pleasures. It's not long-term pleasure. It's not long-term enjoyment. Once again, the real path of pleasure, if you just want to be a hedonist, is to avoid all these things, because you feel much more pain with those things in your life, and all the downside that comes from that, and the hangovers and all these things. When it comes to sex, is the hedonist the person that goes out and has sex with loads of people and goes to prostitutes and, I don't know, watches porn all the time and masturbates all the time and makes sex a big part of their life? Is that the hedonist? Once again, that's what you would think. But in reality, the people that report having the best sex life, as far as I understand, maybe this is a fake statistic, but it's the people that are like in long-term relationships and long-term marriages, often the people that have actually had the least sexual partners, but ironically have sometimes had the most sex because they've had a partner the whole time. And they enjoy it more, and that makes sense. Like, they're with someone that they really like deeply. Isn't that the path of pleasure? Once again, but it's not short-term stimulation. It maybe takes time for people to develop a relationship and a connection like that, and to get to know each other. But that's a beautiful thing. So there's so many things in life that if you start to look at, if you really want to just pursue pleasure in life, then the healthy lifestyle makes total sense, because you have the kind of long-lasting real pleasure that a healthy lifestyle can bring. And it seems like a lot of things in life, short-term stimulation, high stimulation things, are never really the right path, or very rarely. And it's the things that take time and that aren't instant, but lead to a long-term feeling of fulfillment and joy and commitment and happiness. And these are the things that really bring the maximum pleasure in life, and a true underlying pleasure that's just there all the time. Certainly on this fruit diet, it makes your body open to a different level of just basic pleasure in the moment, of feeling pleasurable all the time. I'm not saying that you're feeling high all the time, but I've had those times where I've just sat and went, I just feel great. I just feel a sense of pleasure in my body, because it feels good. It feels good to look after ourselves. And I'd like to encourage you to look after yourself. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to, you know. But that's my basic message of the day, I guess, and you're welcome to share this around. And I do have a forum for the raw vegan diet, school.com/lovefruit. You can check out that forum and join us there. There's the UK Festival coming up. You can check out my podcast, Love Fruit Podcast, and What else am I doing? Coaching. Starting to do some coaching again. You can check that information out in the link below. Thank you very much for watching.